So now we're off mute and we're here at this game, and hopefully these cables are not too mixed up when we walk around. But sounds like looks like they're pretty good. I think standing would be better.
Can't take any steps forward, otherwise you can trip over and fall over the scaffold.
Yes.
We would not want that.
Oh, look, Matt Mays is here.
There he is. I said hello to Matt Mays just before. Walked past him, did a quick hello. Mid-conversation.
Yeah. But no, should be good. Good.
A lot of people down there who know me. Lol.
You guys can hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
All very loud. I don't know. Each to their own. Can you hear like other people really loud or pretty loud in there in your headphones?
I can hear you. Oh,
when he goes, is it like quite loud that he can hear him as well? Or you haven't?
You mean like the background audio?
No, just like the mics.
Him? Yeah, I can hear him. Yeah,
okay, yeah.
Pretty well. We can do a test. Do you want to do a test with him out there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he
so
can hear us, I guess.
Yeah.
But that's what he did before. I was just checking because we have these are like the headphones level, and he had said his pretty loud when he was out.
How is it now? It's pretty good in my ear. It's much better than what it was before.
That's great.
Definitely loud enough though. For
Yeah,
both of
for
ours?
sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Yeah. And then both of ours have got the same level as well for our headphones.
Okay.
Do you want to do a test just as I go back further out here, make sure it's all good? Let's try not to get me on camera tonight limping around this pitch too much.
Keep talking,
Who, me?
Yeah.
Testing. Steve Woodcock Reserve here, Campbelltown versus Modbury. Testing.
All good. All right, we'll go back on mute now.
All right, done.
Gentlemen, welcome all to Steve Woodcock Sports Centre. On behalf of Campbelltown City Board Committee, I welcome all members, players and officials. For Modbury, for this round 26 class National Rugby League. What a finish to the season. Top four playing each other. There's a lot up at stake tonight. Let's hope for an entertaining game. Good luck for both the clubs. I would like to take this opportunity thanking our fantastic sponsors. We are enjoying an evening tonight here with all our sponsors upstairs, and again, I'd like to thank them for their generosity and continued support of our club. There's plenty of food options available on the hill and drinks on the kitchen caravan and also downstairs in the canteen. Enjoy the game, enjoy the go through the lineup, and it's an entertaining night. Thank you very much. See you all after upstairs for a drink.
It's never too late to improve your strength, balance, well-being and independence. Our Strength for Life program encourages all older South Australians to start moving and enjoy an active lifestyle, make friends, build strength and inevitably age well. Strength for Life sessions are offered in almost 100 locations across South Australia, with new sites opening all the time. Check out the COTA SA website to find your nearest location.
Strength for Life is an individualised program which is delivered in a group setting. We aim to keep older South Australians connected with their community, preventing social isolation and also keeping their bodies strong, flexible, managing falls and keeping them engaged. We're super excited to be partnering with Football SA at this state-of-the-art location. It's a beautiful venue. It will really benefit the local community through the Northfield and Jeps Cross surrounding areas to be able to access Strength for Life. And together we are working to improve everyone's futures.
Croatia Raiders time.
Right out, goes top corner and is in.
A captain's contribution for Luke Klimek.
Written in the stars for Nicholas Bucco.
Oh my God! That's another one for Modbury Jets. It's Fabian Barbiero. Your NPL champions, Adelaide United.
Yep, back off mute now. Oh, that got bright. Sounds good. Put it closer.
Yep.
Is that good? Yeah. Sometimes
Yeah,
they're
That's better.
undefeated. Besides.
Skim-easy.
So wait. Yeah, they were 10 games undefeated until.
This is Modbury or Campbelltown?
Oh, okay, all good. It's kind of. Can you hear anything?
Can I hear?
Like me talking, I can't really think.
That's very quiet in my ear now.
Yeah, me too.
Hold on. Can you hear? Can't hear anything either. Now? No?
Yeah.
Is that good? That's kind
Yeah,
of
it's better.
kind of like blocked out everything I just had there, but I'm pretty sure, yeah, I can make it louder in all of our ears now.
Mm-hmm.
Is that good now down for you there, Shane?
Yeah, that's good for me.
That's, yeah.
Okay, I'll go back to mute. Welcome back here to the final round of the NPLSA Round 22 fixture between the home team Campbelltown City Social and Sport Club and Modbury Jets. Both of these teams need some positive results tonight to end the day as league leaders and winners. Joining me in the commentary booth, as he did in 2015 in the midfield, is my friend Christian Marchetti. How are you, Christian?
Great to be here, Alessio. 2015, 2014, I think 2013 as well. A few years there, marshalling the midfield. But no, it's this is a massive game. You've got huge permutations at the top of the table. There's going to be a lot of, definitely here in the commentary box too, a lot of looking around the grounds and seeing what's going on. It's a fantastic fixture to have on the final night, and we've got all 6 games with something to play for, which is even better.
Yep, not just in this league now. We've also got someone on the boundary to contact all things near the benches as well. He might have been refereeing back then in 2015 in some of our games.
Might have.
It's got Shane Robertson on the touchline. How are you, Shane?
Good, boys. How are you up there?
Yeah, very good. It's a bit warmer up here, as you said, so unfortunately for you, it might be a bit chilly down there, but I think the action's going to bring the heat for you, hey?
Yeah, well, look, we hope. It's it's a massive night, as you were just saying. Both of these teams still with a massive opportunity to win this league tonight. Obviously, both need Metro Stars to be dropping points for that to be any chance of happening. So, we'll have live updates here all night, and we'll see what happens. It's going to be a massive night here at Steve Woodcock Reserve.
Yeah, that is true. And we'll go through some of the lineups of both teams. Campbelltown are quite unchanged as they usually are, but they've also brought a couple in compared to their team last week. They've dropped Joel Allwright. He's in front of us here in the crowd, so he might have an injury himself. James Boff obviously returned from that hamstring injury earlier in this season. He's going to start in the midfield. Other than that, it's the same all round for them.
Yeah. Looks like you said, Boffa might be playing in the midfield today. And, of course, Josh Murray, Marco Marino, that partnership worked really well the last time these two teams played. And they'll be looking for those two to strike. Alex Mullen has been in some excellent form, as he usually is as well.
Yep. And the away side, though, after that Australia Cup fantastic game during the week this week, they've come back and they've made plenty changes. That's 4 in at the moment. From what we can see, that's Joku Wall, who's come in. He's a defender, can play at left centre-back and left full-back. Liam McCabe has come in. He actually had quite a good game there off the bench in the last fixture, coming on in the 64th minute. So he's obviously done enough to get a start back in the team, and Lachlan Wilson's dropped out. The other one is Darcy Shaxi. He came on in the 75th minute and played all of extra time as well. He has joined in that team now in the starting lineup tonight. And then finally Cameron Tompkins, who actually scored last week in the league against Croatia Raiders, so he's joined into that defensive line now. And there's a couple of big outs. Tim Henderson's out completely. He's in front of us as well. Matthew Mullen's dropped to the bench. And the other one, was Lachlan Wilson.
Lachlan Wilson, out of the squad completely as well. I mean, that's the thing, right? For an NPL team, particularly Modbury, only in recent years been making the Australia Cup and having to travel midweek and then play 120 minutes. It's not a usual load for an NPL team, and they've picked up what seems a few injuries, and it's tough. It's really tough when the Oz Cup coincides with these high stakes games in the local league as well to really manage it. You really got to use your full squad, and Morris Natale is going to see what they can do tonight.
Yep, we're underway here now. Ball's rolling, and Campbelltown only ascendancy. A couple of interesting players as well for me to see, especially the winger for Modbury Jets, Kentaro Ichikawa. I didn't see him last time we played against Croatia Raiders versus Modbury Jets, and he was out missing that day with an injury. Yeah. So to see him straight into the lineup, and apparently he's been impressing so much that he's got quite a few starts since he's come in. So that's one to look out for. Definitely.
So he's starting off the left. Modbury's actually playing a back five. So early on, looks like we've got Joku Wall as the left-sided centre-back. Dustin Sharkey's going to be in the middle. Tompkins is the right-sided centre-back. And then a flat 4 in front, and then Hamish McCabe is actually going to be leading the line by himself. I mean, this is out of possession, so they might look different in possession. Schmitzi on the right. And like you said, James Boffa taking up that midfield role. It's a 6 next to Brandon Centofanti.
Yeah, might cross down as well to Shane. Is there anything that the Modbury Jets coaches are looking for specifically at the start of this game as they're dropping back to that back five? Is he talking about some shape and dropping back every time that Campbelltown's got the ball, or?
Sorry, can you hear me there, boys? Couldn't hear myself for a second. No, it's very, very quiet down here on the Modbury bench so far, which is a little bit surprising from Morris Natale. Very quiet indeed from both benches, so I think both teams will maybe just try and settle into it a little bit. As we said before, it's being a massive game. Both teams need the result to have a chance of winning the league, so neither of them will want to concede first. So it might be a little bit cagey early, but we'll soon find out.
I think as well, Modbury going long on the first goal kick.
Yeah, that's something we'll also keep you guys updated with. A couple of results around the grounds. Depends how many are watching this game, or maybe that Metro Comets game as well, which has got a lot riding on it, and those relegation battles as well have got a few interesting storylines as well. But as Shane did say, both these teams need a win today to win the league, to at least have a chance at it. And they both need Comets to beat Metro for any of them to have a chance at that as well.
And Campbelltown have really come out of nowhere, haven't they, these last few weeks? I think a lot of people were thinking that they were more just trying to jostle for top 2 and it was them and Comets kind of looking to maybe just occupy third and fourth, and now Comets are looking over their shoulder at Adelaide City, and Campbelltown are looking ahead and seeing if they can snatch first.
Yeah, you could say they come out of nowhere, but it's also been quite a few faults from Metro Stars and Modbury Jets in the lead-up. I mean, they've made it difficult for themselves to stay on the top of that perch at the moment, and Campbelltown just been grinding out results, couple 1-0 wins, clutch wins, as they say. You might see Josh Murray with the first shot on target here. Good parry there from Neil, and it's going to go all the way out if Marino doesn't keep this in.
Yeah, so it looks like Campbelltown, you'll see Murray, Mullen, and Mark Marino operate quite close together. Looks like Murray will take up that role kind of inside left. Create some space for Jake Halliday as well to run into and get forward. And Mullen will play really off the shoulder of Marino like he usually does. They can combine. Yeah,
it's a different thing, that midfield, now that you've got James Boffer in there next to Brandon Santafanti. I mean, Brandon Santafanti is probably the more defensive midfielder when you do have a normal three of him, All Right and Mullen. But now that you've got Boffer in there, who often plays as a right fullback, now he's playing in the 6 as well. Maybe we get to see Brandon Santafanti unleashed a bit more forward, but it's definitely those two blocking that pathway to pass into Hamish McCabe.
Possibly, but I think as well, maybe Michael Mitriciani will feel his team might have more of the ball being at home tonight, playing against the Modbury team, which is, as we can already see, operating very much more defensively with their structure. And maybe just having 2 6s just in front of the back four to protect against counter-attacks is something that he's looking at too.
It's another thing as well, having Makeda as a right fullback, who's usually a midfielder. That's another avenue for Modbury Jets to exploit down that side. A player so comfortable in possession, and he has found himself at right fullback in the recent weeks, either due to some tactical.
Well, and that's the thing as well. You know, they're definitely depleted a little bit tonight, but if they can hold their structure and you've got speed going forward and you've got 2 goal scorers in Shumitsi and McCabe, then you've definitely got a chance.
Yeah, both strikers in.
Try to take it quick.
Yeah, contrary to what most people think as well. I mean, you've got Hamish McCabe and Mark Marino on the pitch, but a player who's been in fine goal scoring form himself has been Francesco Scamitzi. He's obviously scored in the Australia Cup. He scored the last game I commentated against
the
Raiders.
Do we need to clarify this? Is it Scamitzi or Shumitsi?
I don't know. If it's Italian, the C and the H is usually a K, but I usually call him Scamitzi, but it's definitely not Scamizzi, that's for sure.
Yeah. But that was a real poacher's finish, wasn't it, in the Australia Cup? Type of goals he's been scoring all season long.
Yeah, 17 goals in all competitions this season for Francesco Scamizzi. 14 in the league as well, so he's still trying to climb up that ladder for the top scorer, and he maybe with a few tonight might find himself on the pole position of that chart. But on the other hand, a player that I didn't realise had so many in all competitions is Mark Marino. 18 in all competitions and 13 in the league.
It's a quiet 18, yeah. A quiet 18. And, it feels they had the beer grad game here at home recently where he named a couple, and the cup final as well. He's probably, I haven't got the stats in front of me, but it's felt like he's kind of taken a while this season to maybe warm up to it. But, I mean, he's got 18 goals. So
a couple of complaints there about that corner. Connor Santafanti thought it came off the foot of Ichikawa, but
it did look like it from my angle.
Looked like from mine, but the angle that matters, the assistant referee on that near side, he says no, it's a goal kick, and Neil's taken all the time in the world to get this going. But yeah, as he did say, I mean, he even got that inadvertent goal against Moreton Bay Excelsior as well, Marino. I'm not sure how he claimed that. Talking to a couple of the players, he apparently at halftime he went over and said, make sure you give that to me, ref, and they put it down for him. But it looks like Shane's got something down for us there on the touchline.
Yeah, we've got the first score update of the evening, so obviously all matches in the RAMPL kicking off this evening at the same time, with it being the last round. No goals scored in any game bar the Raiders versus Adelaide United game. Adelaide United getting off the mark very early, 3rd minute. So Adelaide United 1-0 up over Raiders, which probably cements their spot in the finals if they can win that game.
That's the thing. If the Croydon Beer grad game, unfortunately for those two, if Adelaide United do their job, then that result won't matter. So, if I'm not mistaken, I have to check that again. But good start for Adelaide United for sure.
Yeah, you're correct with that. If Adelaide United win, the goal difference is too much for either Beograd or Croydon to catch up. So if Adelaide United win, they will finish 6th.
Yeah, it was also that loss against Moreton Bay Excelsior in the Cup that stopped a great run of form for Campbelltown, undefeated in 10 coming into that game, and then obviously they continue that coming back with a win against Parry Hills as well. But 10 games undefeated for Campbelltown, they really proved what their worth is in the second half of the season, Christian.
Yeah, we'll just clarify that last. I think Beograd do have a better goal difference than Adelaide United. So I believe if Beograd do win, they will. Shane will probably check that for us. But,
I think that's showing.
Might be showing the live ladder, trying to operate the Football 24 app live on comms.
Yeah, we'll keep it going, and probably by the 80th minute there might be some more decisive and correct calls from us up here. But otherwise, it's a busy night across the league, and it's going to be more busy tomorrow as well with some state leagues, some relegations, some automatic promotions as well underway and up for grabs. So
I'll be at Western Strikers, not at Croydon tomorrow, where Western Strikers are playing, taking on Playford.
Just as we were speaking about that, boys, Metro Stars have gone 1-0 up over Adelaide Comets.
Big goal.
Big goal in the terms of things. That's all they need, Metro Stars, is a win to confirm them as league champions for the second season in a row. And of course, it was the final game of the season last year where Metro beat Modbury to stop Campbelltown winning the league in the final game of the season. So hopefully Modbury Jets are hoping that they're going to be on the good receiving end of this. Now it's Mark Marino's on the receiving end of a good pass. He goes with his left foot, just past the post though, and it's gone out for a corner. That was a good move from Campbelltown. Found him just onside and got a strike away with his left foot.
Yeah, I wonder if he might have been, there were one or two calls, I wonder if he might have been a fraction offside there, Mark Marino, but linesman called it on. Great first touch, and it's a really crucial intervention to take it the outside of the post. Otherwise, might have found the bottom corner.
Now here's going to be an interesting thing now. You've got a couple of tall timber there in the box for a corner. Boffa's stayed back, but a couple of other midfielders have gone in, and Josh Morray's on the end of this, and we're going to see what Alex Mullen can do. He's battling out there in the middle at the moment. He's been tugged. The referee says nothing doing, but that was an ominous tug there from what looked like Shaxi. And now Mullen goes for the spectacular, but that one's gone nowhere, and now he's just remonstrating with the assistant referee if he saw the tug himself.
Well, it was an interesting setup on the corner from Campbelltown. They had only about 4 players actually in the box. Had 3 players standing on the edge. Ball came out in the end. Didn't get a good look of the perceived foul on Alex Mullen. And centre five, he tries to get it back in there. Goal kick for Modbury. But honestly, not too surprised by Metro taking an early lead. You could imagine after last week that some strong words were said during the week. A few players maybe looking in the mirror at their performances and have come out really fast today.
Yeah, especially getting something like that done in the first half as well. I'm sure many of these players might be on their phones at halftime checking the score at that stage, and to get it done, get a goal in the first half is massive for a result.
And that's the crucial thing here for these two teams is, whatever the case, you've just got to play to win here, right? Because you don't know what could happen in that other game. I mean, we could be going in at halftime and Comets have turned it around and scored twice. Who knows? So play to win and focus on your game first and foremost.
We do say play to win. One thing I was looking at as well is obviously if Modbury draw this game, they cement themselves in second and get that week off. Maybe they're waiting for that week off after the busy schedule they've had.
Good point.
It could be something that they look at, and maybe the reason why they've set up like this to try and hold out for a result. Their goal difference is better than Campbelltown's. So if they can keep a draw here, then maybe that'll afford them the week off, get some of these players. Another one I saw here, Paul Wilson as well. He's struggling with an injury after a big clash against Dry King Burn. In Raiders in their last league fixture as well. So they've got about 3 centre-backs here now. We've got Matt Mullen on the bench, but 2 of them at least who usually would start in this back line at the moment out on the touchline. So,
well, Modbury have not had a lot of the ball, to put it bluntly. And I think it's a little bit too comfortable for Campbelltown at the moment.
Now Matsumoto gets comfortable out on this right wing. Good, looks for the cross. It's going to be deflected, and it's just going to find its way over the touchline for another corner. There's a couple building up now, and this is where Campbelltown facing their home end as well. I've seen so many goals go in this side, especially from that forehead of Alex Mullen. So if they want to get a goal early in the first half, this is the end they want it.
or even the forehead of under-18s Adelaide City goalkeeper George Zacharias in the 96th minute a few weeks ago.
That is true also. Didn't get a win that day, though. So
No.
both these teams hopefully trying to get ahead to put themselves in the lead. So
Campbelltown have definitely settled into this game first.
Marisic now. He goes near post. No one's there. Comes out now to Mark Marino with a volley. It bounces, but into the hands of Ryan Neal. Another interesting thing I saw from that set piece as well. Centre back in Marisic taking that.
Yeah.
I guess he's left-footed, but I kind of would have preferred him to be in the box for that. I mean, someone could put a delivery there in an area.
And it wasn't actually the best ball. He hasn't beaten the first man, and the clearance is actually pretty poor, dropping straight to Mark Marino on the edge of the box, and unmarked Mark Marino on the edge of the box. It's playing with fire.
The other left footer they have is Jake Halliday, and I guess maybe he's more used to putting his crosses in on the overlap rather than from a set piece, but I'm sure we'll see him get on a few tonight, and that ball's...
So Modbury are more than happy with the ball in these areas. Ball's in front of them. Campbelltown are trying to be a bit more direct. You see Mullen and Marisic maybe look for those longer balls, try and reward the runs of Maury or Marino.
Maury now goes into the box. Another thing, the conditions, it's cold up here. I reckon that pitch is a bit dewy and wet, so any skidded ball into the box is going to be a danger. And for Campbelltown, that's what they want, put it in the danger area. They've got the marksman that can put it away. The other player I was looking at as well in the stats today was Alex Mullen with 10 goals overall, 9 in the league. So as a midfielder getting double figures, that's a fantastic achievement if he can do it.
Well, he's like the NPLSA's own Frank Lampard, isn't he? Alex Mullen. So arriving late in the box, but more than that, as a leader, coming up with big moments at Raiders, at Para Hills, 2 winners. So definitely, if his team requires it, keep an eye out for Alex Mullen coming up with another big moment.
Don't know how many Frank Lampard scored with his head though, but I definitely
that is a good point. That was a rarity.
Just down here, boys, you did mention that Modbury seem happy to sit back a little bit. A couple more score updates which might sort of make a little bit more sense to that. Metro Stars have gone 2-0 up. So obviously that means that neither of those who could win their league. So like you mentioned, Modbury with the better goal difference, they're probably happier to sit back a little bit, absorb that pressure, just try and hold on. If it's a 0 or draw, it doesn't matter, they get the week off. Whereas Campbelltown, the ones attacking and really sort of holding this ball, they need a result to be able to push up to second. So there's that update. And then another update at the end of the table. Para Hills have gone 1-0 up over South Adelaide, which means they've pulled themselves out of the relegation zone as of right now and pushed Adelaide Olympic down. So two big scores at both ends of the table.
And Shane, Para Hills have got a stronger goal difference than Olympic. Would I be right in saying that? I think Olympics is close to -1.
Yeah, that is correct. Yeah, that is correct.
Olympic would need to match Para Hills' result. But what's good about this game, Alessio, is that if Metro do just basically wrap that up early, well, second is on the line here. So still that week off, there's still very much something to play for between these two teams. Playing for two things, right?
Yeah, and they've obviously got players to come back as well, Campbelltown. I mean, you've got Joe Allwright, who looks like he's just...
Great touch. Ooh.
Bit of an inadvertent pass back to Matsumoto, but he's gone all the way over the top of everybody when he probably should have shot there. Now Halliday's going to try and swing it in, but doesn't even get the corner, and it's going to be a goal kick.
Well, you're spot on. I'm perplexed why Yohei Matsumoto didn't shoot there. He could have slid the ball under Ryan Neal, maybe gone through his legs, or just maybe a little dink, try and chip it over him. Yeah, not too sure. And even the ball across was thundered really high. So yeah, big let off for Modbury.
Yeah, as I was saying as well, they've got players to come back. We've seen that Joel Allwright's here in front of us, so he might be not enough to be on the bench either. But the other one, the inclusion they do have on the bench tonight is Shogo Yoshikawa, who has probably been one of their players of the season, if all things are considered. And from some of the reports of some of the men in the match awards, he's been up there in the club rooms that I've seen. So he's one to come back, and he had a bit of a hamstring injury from a South Adelaide game quite a while ago now. So to see him back on the bench is a positive sign, and maybe if he gets another week to train on and get that fitness back, then that's a big thing for Campbelltown too. So they need to get a win here, and that'll propel them into that second spot if Metro stays the same there.
Well, he's another X factor, another attacking outlet for them. And I mean, even if he was fit, you still got a front four there. Marino, Mullen, Mori, Yohei, and Nishikawa is just the fifth option, but only 4 can play. Unless they wanted to mix it up and go with all 5. But it's incredible depth that they got there. And even if he's at 80% today, Nishikawa, if this game's at 0-0, a player that you can just spring to life off the bench, it's a massive asset.
Yeah, I've seen him play a bit in the midfield as well, Yoshikawa. I mean, he's got the number 2 shirt. So we see this attack play out. Alex Mullen using his body well. The deflection almost found its way to Mullen, but yeah, as we were saying, Yoshikawa, he's got the number 2 shirt. He doesn't often play at right back. I maybe seen him there once in his time here at Campbelltown, but he often, I think, plays in that advanced midfield role that it looks like at the moment Brandon Centofanti's playing. So if anyone was to potentially come out, it would be James Boffa, but if he's coming straight back to the side, he's got the fitness ready from the last 6 weeks that he's been injured, so he's going to be revving to keep that spot.
Linesman getting some nice feedback from the strong Modbury contingent that's here today. Obviously not a very long trip at all, Modbury to Campbelltown.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the camera can spot that as well. All of them in their blue beanies as well. Some of them say Modbury Soccer Club. The other ones I think say the Big Freeze maybe.
Yep.
But it's blue nonetheless. Blue versus red. It's fantastic for viewing back home as well. As is that cross to Marino. Looks for the left foot strike. Goes second time. Just under a couple of players. I thought it almost dribbled in there, but it's a second shot on the left foot from Mark Marino in haste, but he's getting them under his belt at the moment.
Well, I think he did that brilliantly. I think a lot of strikers in that position, the ball come across and they feel like they've got to take it first time. But Mark Marino brings it under his control, takes a touch, readjusts, and he's not too far off. Just kind of shows the experience that he's got, the composure to assess his options in the penalty area like that.
Talk about Francesco Schmitzi before as well. I was looking at some of his stats. Obviously, he was at Campbelltown last year, played mostly in reserves, played 3 senior games for Campbelltown, and then this year he's just exploded in the first team setup, getting his minutes, and he's repaid it with some goals. I mean, the other one that's playing against his former side tonight is Brandon Centofanti, who played on 2 occasions for Modbury Jets, and that included a first round. At that point, it was the first one of a comeback against Campbelltown. As they got a big chance in the top of the box here. It's still bouncing around. It's going to be a foul.
That's brilliant defending by Jockey Wall. Really, really good stuff.
Yeah, he's really contesting with Alex Mullen in the air. There's been a few times now it's gone to that area, and maybe that's why he's playing in the left side of a back 5 at the moment, left centre back in the back 5, because he really got that aerial presence and that body as well to contest.
Well, it sounds like a silly thing to say, but he's a real defender, isn't he? Joku Wall. He loves a challenge, gets into it, and you do need someone who can at least compete with Alex Mullen in the air. He's such an aerial threat. But just getting back to what you said about Schmitzi, and I mean, it's just not an easy team, this Campbelltown team, to break into if you're an attacking player, is it? And when you've got tried and trusted guys and you bring in someone like Josh Murray, which they did in the off-season, it's very difficult for a reserves player to break out and make their mark. But good on him, because he's gone somewhere else, and now he's become one of the elite forwards in this league.
Yeah, another one of his teammates obviously also made his way onto Steve Woodcock as well. It's Alessio Malisi, and he obviously played with him at Metro. Another consistent goal scorer in the reserve league specifically, but he's made his way into the first team, scored a few now. Ball comes in the top from Mullen, and Morridge couldn't connect with that one, but he's not on the bench tonight either, is Malisi, but he's another attacker that's probably the Schmitzi of last season, where he's found his way behind a couple of strikers, found his way on the bench. When he's come on, he's done a few good things, but he's also been sent off, so maybe he needs to find a club that will give him the opportunity that Modbury gave Schmitzi, and he can repay them similarly.
Yeah, well, as we just see this attack.
There with the right foot into the far post. Good claim though by Neil, and he does the Jordan Pickford and keeps that on the deck.
Well, yeah, you're right with Malisi. I mean, at Metro, couldn't break in. A real tough team to break into again. And he's come to Campbelltown, and it's a similar situation. So, yeah, I mean, It's nothing really against him, is it? It's just there's just a pecking order at some of these clubs that are near the top. And if you're Michael Matriciani or Danny Greystone, and you've got that quality at disposal, you're gonna use it.
Well, we did mention earlier as well, Brandon Santafanti playing against his former team, and he's played against his current team as well for Modbury Jets as well. Obviously scored that first goal in their famous comeback in the round 1 fixture in 2023. Well, he was here obviously earlier in about 2020 and 2021, went away to Sturt Lions first and Modbury as well, and then he came back to Modbury, got some form back, and obviously saw the light, came back to Campbelltown, obviously did well enough last season to obviously find his way into this team. But that's what you got to do sometimes. You got to go to another club, find some form. Might be in the state league, might be a lower team in the NPL, but it goes to show that you go away, come back, and you find yourself back in the team as a regular. And he's had a breakout season. We're talking about it before the game as well.
You're right, and it's almost like that idea of kind of learning your trade, making your mistakes at a lower level, so you're prepared and ready for NPL football. We were talking about it off air. He's had a fantastic season, Brendan Santafanti. Not an easy role that he plays either, in this 4-4-2 that Campbelltown play. If you're one of those central midfield players, it's a lot that you're being asked to do on both sides of the ball.
Maury now looks for a low ball into the box, found its way to Boffa. Lays it back for Alex Mullen. Looks like he's going to have a strike. It's always high and rising though. Neil will like to see that one go over the top.
So again, we haven't really seen Campbelltown get in behind this Modbury defence yet, and it's something that's going to be quite difficult. As we got
another update from you, Shane?
Yeah, not a score update. Just I'm not sure whether you guys were able to hear it on the effects mic or not, but we've got Michael Matriciani here just imploring his team to move it quicker from left to right, while Morris Natali here is speaking to Kenshiro Ichikawa before, just asking him not to get caught too far out right. You can see there's a clear aim here from Modbury to try and hold Campbelltown out, with obviously Campbelltown attacking more and more as Campbelltown go forward here.
Marino now shifted onto that left again, but he's blocked out, and an inadvertent deflection has found its way to Liam McCabe. He thought he was going to roll out himself, but he's going to have to keep this alive now on the left side.
Yeah, sorry, just as I was saying, but, Modbury have pretty well defended for the first 25 minutes here, and, I don't think they can do that for 90 minutes against this Campbelltown side. This Campbelltown side are too strong. They have too many attacking threats to be able to be sort of held out for that long. So, do Modbury change it at some point down the track and try and go attacking? Who knows?
I think I would actually go the other way. I think Michael Matriciani is imploring his team to move the ball, because this ball's going to have to move quickly if they're going to break down what is a bank of 5 and a bank of 4. Ball needs to move quick, and you need dynamic movement from your front players. Runs in behind as well, which they haven't had much of. They haven't been able to reward that yet. And I think, Shane, I think it's a good point, because I think you have to be so focused for Modbury to shift across the whole game. And when you get the ball, you're losing it straight away. Not this time though. Kmitzi going for a run. Good tackle by Maricic, but often you're getting the ball, going forward 1 or 2 passes, and then you're back in your shape and you're defending again, and that's the mental fatigue of that is quite difficult. So yeah, we might see Modbury look to press at some point. I would say if the game keeps going on like this, so we might see a change, maybe tactically from Campbelltown, to try and unlock something with this back 5.
Sorry guys, we do just have another score update. Para Hills have scored another goal, so they're 2 goals to 0 over South Adelaide now. So basically what that means is Adelaide Olympic must score to stay in the NPL next season.
Thank you for that, Shane. Obviously, that at least some of the games have got a bit of action and consequences in the table at the moment. But as you were saying about the difficulties going forward for Modbury at the moment, maybe that goes to show why coming against this opposition in Campbelltown, Hamish McCabe's only got 1 goal in his career against them, and obviously that's come against a lot of different defences of Campbelltown, with the 5 days, with his teammate Matt Mullen at the back there sometimes as well, and Sean Harvey as well. So they've had a few great defences over the years, and it's been a difficult one to score against for some of these Modbury players.
Well, and I think you mentioned it earlier. I think it was a great point that it might have been Shane, but that Modbury probably went into this looking like, we've got quite a few injuries. The week off is more important to us than first. And I think we're seeing that with the performance. And now, for them, if Metro do continue with that result and go on and secure the premiership, then Modbury will be more than happy to stay in this shape and defend like this for as long as possible and try and nick a goal towards the end. Bit of a smash and grab, something that Campbelltown have done the last couple of weeks in the league as well.
And the hard thing with that as well is, Modbury were in the position to sort of wrap this up a couple of weeks ago, and then a couple of losses on the trot, add in that Australia Cup game during the week where it's gone to penalties. Modbury shouldn't have been in this position where they needed to get the result and rely on other results. They should have been in that position where they could have wrapped it up themselves tonight. So, hindsight's a wonderful thing.
Another good ball, that one was Marisic again, who made up for that corner delivery, and now Modbury Jets on the counter-attack with Hamish McKay, but stopped in his path by James Boffer in that 6th position.
Yeah, and Shane makes a great point, and not just that, but as a group, as a squad, probably a couple months ago, Modbury did have that goal of we're going to finish first, and this is what we can do, set out to do. We're going to try and achieve this, and now in the space of a couple of weeks, after a few bad results, things change dramatically for you, and you have to kind of reassess where you're at. And that's not easy, I think, for Maurice Natale as a coach, and not easy for the playing group to kind of readjust to, new expectations. But luckily for clubs in the NPL and all the way through the pyramid, is that if your regular season doesn't turn out as you would have liked and you finish in the top 6, you've still got finals to look forward to. Something which Modbury did very well last year, of course.
Falling behind, looking for Murray, and Shaxi's taken no chances there and putting that over the line, and now they've got another corner here. And if it's on that left side, it looks like it'll be Murray to take it as well. So we're looking for a good delivery here. And now Marisic himself has gotten into the box, and seems like they are leaving that back trio of Centofanti, and Boffer just in front of the halfway line now. But it's going to be Murray on this delivery, and they're going to want to get an early goal here now, Campbelltown. Far post this time. Neil gets a hand to it, but again, there looked like there was a tug in the box. Brandon Centofanti's kept us alive against 2 players, and he's hoofed it into the air, and maybe 2 players are going to play it back to him. They have. Centofanti into the box, and that ball finally gets cleared over the line, but I think you saw maybe on the camera there, Alex Mullen was remonstrating with the referee that half his shirt was around his shoulder, so how could that happen without a tug? But
yeah, Modbury are well aware of Alex Mullen, and they're making sure he knows that they know where he is.
Brandon Centofanti doing well to put his body about against Liam McKay, but he might have fouled him on that occasion. And he's going to be, I think it's Marino who's fouled him on the second time of asking. And
I think that should be a foul coming back here. Is he given a foul or a throw-in?
No, he's definitely given the foul.
Foul, yeah. Okay. That's what you want as well for Modbury. And for Michael Mitriciani, those types of things will be really annoying, because giving away fouls in the final third, Campbelltown's final third that is, or attacking half, just gives Modbury that ability to stop, get the ball, take their time, catch a breather, push everyone up the pitch. And if you're Campbelltown in a game like this, you don't want Modbury to rest. It's quite simple.
Interesting. It was well to see from that set piece how long they took to take it. So
Yep.
they are definitely not
Already,
under any rush here at the moment. And I'm sure when they get into that halftime change room, they'll see the scores around the grounds and know they just have to hold on to something here to get an extra week off. And that's what a lot of people play for. I mean, you hear about the stories in the leagues when the coach says here, we've got a couple of days off this time, so they're all going to try and get for that result more than they did maybe the other one. But a whole week for this team and get some of their starting regulars back would be well received.
And
Chikawa now gets a ball cut back. There's a little chance there on the left side, but his ball was just a bit too soft into the box.
But, and knowing how Modbury usually like to approach the game with their football, are we sure that Maurice Natale really wants to approach the game like this? Maybe he had in his sights maybe before the Australia Cup game that, no, we're going to try and go and win this game too and give us the best chance to finish first. But circumstances dictate, how things work out for you and how you have to approach certain games.
Marino and Francesca battling it out now. Looks like there was a handball there from Scamitzi, and referee has pulled it back. And Campbelltown see their difference in when they win these fouls is how quick they're going to get on the ball and try and play it short.
Yeah.
So we definitely can see two different avenues to a result here from the two different sides.
That's the thing, right? Modbury looking for a result, and Campbelltown are looking for a win.
Again, you've got Michael Matriciani down here. He's desperate for his team to get wider and really use the size of this pitch. They know this pitch very well. It's obviously their home ground.
Matsumoto with a good ball back post. Mullen was there, but so was Daniel. Looked like maybe Makeda, sorry, on the far right. So he's really tucking in close there as the right wing back in this formation. But they're all contesting with Alex Mullen, which is the main thing.
Yeah, it's really key for Campbelltown's wingers to be as wide as they possibly can in possession. You've got to try and stretch these wing backs from Modbury to the touchline. It's going to create some spaces in between the wide centre backs and the wing backs, and that's where you can get some forward runs from Marino or Mori or Alex Mullen. That's, I think, what Michael Matriciani will be looking at. We saw Metro against Adelaide City really struggle against a system like this last week. Something that more teams are looking to. Can be very effective if executed well.
Mullen looked for a flick that time to Marino. It might have come off his hand. Referee says play on, but I think another thing you got going to find interesting in the second half as well. They have got Baresi on the bench as well, a second striker that could be introduced, and I think that might happen, and maybe a midfielder has to be withdrawn for that to happen and get another forward who just wants to stay up top there.
I think I think one of that Boffa Centofanti duo would be taken off if this game remains at 0-0. Heading into, the 70th minute mark, something like that. And I think Baresi is an option here because not just the aerial presence before cross into the box, but also the ability to maybe come deeper and get on the ball and actually drag one of those Modbury centre-backs out. But Modbury are doing a really good job of being disciplined. Their centre-backs are, if Marino, Mullen drops into midfield, they're passing them on to the midfielders. They're not getting caught out, just holding their shape. And probably the one difference, I mentioned how Adelaide City used the back five last week, but they pressed. I think Modbury, no intention to press today. Very much sitting off, letting Campbelltown come onto them.
When they get it, sometimes they're going along like that to Alexander Woodlands. And now Campbelltown can reset again. This is a really big picture, and I have seen on countless occasions when teams have made it look big or they've looked too small and been too compact in the middle, and Campbelltown should know by now how to play this pitch and how to make it as wide and as big as possible. And maybe some of these players have got to... You see Alex Mullen turn in the box here, might be a big chance. Halliday was played ahead of him, but he still got the cross in and it might be cleared now.
But you see there, Alicia, again, that's that little space, that pocket that Campbelltown will be looking at. Alex Mullen just receives it in between Makeda and Tompkins. That's where the spaces usually are when you're playing a system like this.
Yeah, it's always between the wing back and the third centre back.
That's right, yeah. Yeah.
And they just have to try and get this wing back to come and press somebody on the wide side who's coming up with the ball, and then that's when the gap comes in behind. But yeah, I think they probably could even, both of the fullbacks of Campbelltown probably push forward a bit, especially if you've got two defensive midfielders.
That's right. Particularly if you've got strong protection with the 2 6s, and also for Modbury, it's really key that 2 wingers also stay inside and they don't get caught drifting wider out of possession, because that's going to create that gap to play that pass that we're talking about. So, yeah, it's a real tactical mind game today.
Yeah, it's also going to be hard as well for some of these players, for the Campbelltown side specifically, who love to get on the ball, and that's where their best football happens. But sometimes in a game like this, it's just less touches and more moving it quickly, then that's going to get you more success. So some of them just have to take a bit of humility about it and just get the ball moving, move the ball quickly, move the spaces quickly, and then the opportunities will come about. Some of these players are just going to want to come to the ball every time, and it's not doing anything for them at the moment. See another one there, loose pass to Modbury, sorry.
I don't know if we'll cross down to Shane but I can see Michael Matriciani's body language. He's getting frustrated. Yeah,
he is. He was just sitting down, or he was on the edge of his technical area, went and sat down and probably blasted his assistant coaches sitting next to him and saying, we knew they were going to play with the back five. As soon as we saw that lineup, we knew it. We spoke about it pre-game. It's not rocket science. He's really, really frustrated with his team at the moment, how they're not just utilising the width of this pitch. Like he says, these players, some of these players have played at this level for quite a while. Some of them have played professionally. like you said, it's not rocket science. Use the width of the pitch. You're going to try and get in behind that back five.
I think the tough thing for Campbelltown in this scenario is they might have spoken about it. In fact, they probably definitely did speak about it, this back five and playing against such a defensive system. But it's just difficult when you're faced with it. You get out there and it's like there's just no space, you know. And Modbury, you get the ball, you drive at a player, and he doesn't approach you, he backpedals. He's protecting his goal. It's a very difficult thing psychologically to approach as a player, because you want to move the ball quickly, but you keep shifting it side to side, and there's no spaces that are opening up. So it's something that Campbelltown really have to be determined with. But I agree with Michael Tricciani's frustrations. They need to move the ball much quicker if they want to create more in this game.
Well, for now, tried to get that going. This is going to be an interesting situation. They've brought it back for the free kick, top of the box. Got a few names on this one as well. I think it's Josh Murray and Alex Mullen on this.
Well, Daniel Cook gave the free kick, and it's still a great position. But James Boffa played a nice little ball there for Mark Marino, and he could have been in had he played the advantage. But it's a good position here. The thing about this free kick in this position here is you've got to get it up and down straight away.
I think Mark Marino there was just telling the referee that he was away. That was a big chance for him if he let that play on. And I think it's going to be Josh Murray to step over the top of this one. Had a solid season in the red this year. 11 goals in all competitions, 6 in the league. So he's spread his figures evenly along the cup and the league. But he'd love to finish with a plum in the league with a big goal in this game.
Modbury will be sick of the side of him if he scores here.
Yeah, he scored 3 career goals against Modbury from my stats collection. So he's going to want to make it 4 here, Josh Murray. He stands over the top of this. Up and down, as you said, Christian. Gets it straight through the wall, or maybe to the side of it, and Neil, I think, saw that the whole way, unfortunately. So,
yeah, I think he's tried to go back the other way, not up and over the wall. He's tried to maybe catch Ryan Neal cheating, maybe moving one side to where the wall is and try and catch him the other side, but he's gone too central, so easy claim in the end.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at a couple of free kicks recently, not even just in our leagues, but around the globe, that so many of them are hitting the side netting or bouncing before they go in, like just bottom corner ones, especially from that position. When we saw Tsakani score one for Burkhala a couple of weeks ago, not the one he scored in the top corner, but the other one he scored at home. And I thought...
He scored a lot recently, so...
yeah, I mean...
it's hard to remember.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it and I was like, how can you from that range just find the bottom corner? And it was quite an easy finish in the end, but it just goes to show from that distance and that angle that when people moving around, then it's hard for a keeper to find and block that out.
Big day from Campbelltown.
Matsumoto goes for a jog, but he's crowded out by Francesca. He's got Ichikawa on the left if he wants to find him. Tried to feed it in between two, and that was the more difficult ball of the two, and it's not come off for him.
Yeah, just with that little forward attack there from Campbelltown, I heard Michael Tricciani down here. He was sort of just giving directions to his players. Mark Marino was trying to come into the middle more, and he's telling him, no, stay out wider and just create those little pockets of space in the middle there. Same as, as we go forward again here. Same out on this right-hand side, just imploring his players to stay out wide and create those pockets in, because that's how they're going to get in behind. And you look at what happened. They sort of got through the middle. Unfortunate turnover, but it's probably the best attack they had all game.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what we're saying. Players who just want to get on the ball because they're very good on the ball, they've got to just have some humility and keep their position. I mean, we just saw Matsumoto drive into the box, onto the top of the box, and he's the lone right winger. I mean, if I'm a coach, I want him to stay out there, play that ball, and just keep the defence stretched so you can get the ball in behind.
Well, yeah, the other thing, though, is that you do need some combination play to try and break down a system like this, and you also need just some individual quality. It does just quite simply come down to that in certain moments, but I think Shane's got something for us.
Yeah, just as this free kick gets taken, I would say, look, this game is probably for second place now. Metro Stars have gone up 3-0. Not that the teams and maybe not the coaches will know that, but Metro Stars up 3-0. Para Hills are 3 up over South Adelaide as well. But again, as we said, Modbury will definitely want to be playing for that week off and a rest after a really taxing week that they've had.
Metro's not playing along. They're not.
Nor is
they don't want
South Adelaide or Para Hills.
They don't want the Aguero final day drama. They're not having it.
Daniel Mullen tries to use his space to attack the box now, and he stays out wide. But yeah, it looks like both ends of the table that we were looking for some controversy and things to happen to obviously move it along in the day. Both of them are 3-0 up, and they've almost ended all hopes of anything changing or going down to the last few minutes.
Unless Adelaide City have taken the lead, an Olympic goal would reignite some interest. That's the frustrating thing for Para Hills, is if they do their job quite comfortably, Olympic winning means that won't matter. I don't know if Shane wanted to provide a little update of what's happening at Adelaide City Park.
Nah, still 0-0 there, but as you say, there sort of is a little bit to play for in terms of that game. With Adelaide Comets losing, just Adelaide City Olympics gone into half-time just now. With Adelaide Comets losing and Adelaide City drawing, Adelaide City have moved up into fourth, which means they've got a home final in week 1. If they do drop points to Olympic not only jump out of the relegation zone, but Adelaide City then lose that home final in week 1 as well. So there's still a little bit to play for around the grounds.
Josh Murray goes short to Marino. He goes for the strike, but it's well cleared, and now Matsumoto's got a bit of a running race now with Boffa coming clear. Finds Josh Murray, goes for the left foot cross, but I think it just bounced as he tried to cross that, and he's got under it and out for another goal kick.
And he got a few jeers from the supporters in front of us. But no, Shane made an excellent point, and it kind of became quite clear last week that Adelaide City and Comets are going to play each other in that first elimination final, and it's just a matter of who's going to host it. I'm not too sure for either team Adelaide City love a big away result, don't they? And Comets, well, they're not at their spiritual home, I guess, yet. Still playing out of Jeff's Cross, so...
Another interesting to note as well, that was an interesting thing they had last year. Adelaide City did play a home final against Modbury, and they did lose in the first round of the final series.
That was the 4-5-2, yep. The 4 versus 5.
Yeah.
I believe, yeah.
But yeah, obviously it was a late winner there from, I think it was Tim Henderson in the end. And that obviously spurred...
I think it was Josh Hernandez. I think Tim Henderson got the equaliser, I want to say.
I'm going to have to figure that out. I think it might have been... Yeah, I think it might have even been McKay.
I was at that game.
Yeah, I remember someone got the equaliser, but the winner looked like it was Tim Henderson. It might have been Hernandez in the end as well, because he had a great final series. But either way, I mean, that was a big shot in the gut there for Adelaide City, getting a home final against a team that maybe wasn't fancied as much. And losing in the first round of the finals is never something you want to do. And goes to show what they're going to do this year. I mean, maybe they're the team that propels the team that's going to make it all the way to the final, or maybe they're the team themselves. So.
What's frustrating for Campbelltown is Dr. Wall sends Alex Mullins to the ground again. But what's frustrating for Campbelltown is, particularly for Daniel Mullen and Jordan Maricic, if you have space in front of you and Modbury are just going to retreat, why not try and drive with the ball? Why not try and take that space in front of you? Try and draw either Hamish McCabe towards you, eliminate him out of the game, or draw one of the midfielders to press a little bit higher. Try and bait them into pressing. And that's the frustrating thing for Michael Matriciani, is they haven't really moved this Modbury team, either stretch them towards their own goal or baited them into pressing in certain moments and created space in behind them. And there have been some good runs made too, which they haven't rewarded maybe either.
Another long ball to Mullen, and I think Wall might have got something on the end of that, and Shaxby doesn't take any prisoners in clearing that to the near side. But
I think Jockey Wall does need to be careful. He's definitely shirt pulling on a lot of these contests, and Alex Mullen's been around for long enough that one shirt pull that isn't disguised the right way and could lead to something more sinister for Modbury.
Santafanti and McKay battling it out. Finds. Not sure who he found, and it's a big kick away there from Makeda. That was the half-time whistle, that the referee blew there, and a couple of remonstrations from Jesse Francesca, but they're going to be happy going into this half, Modbury Jets. I mean, if they don't know the results of the other games, they will now, and they're going to know that the job's halfway done for them, and for Campbelltown, that if they want to get an extra week off and provide some entertainment for their home fans as well, they're going to want to get something in the second half. But that's all from us at the moment. Shane and Christian, anything from you?
Well, I think it's very clear in the first 10 minutes of this game the way it was going to play out. Modbury have come here depleted with their squad. They've come here to defend to get a result, maybe look to get that week off. And Campbelltown are basically playing a game in their half and trying to solve a really difficult puzzle, which is breaking down this low block, which Modbury are really been very disciplined with.
All right, well, that's all from us here in the commentary box and down there on the pitch. We'll be with you in the second half, but it's 0-0 here at Steve Woodcock Sports Centre between Campbelltown City and Modbury Jets.
It's never too late to improve your strength, balance, well-being and independence. Our Strength for Life program encourages all older South Australians to start moving and enjoy an active lifestyle, make friends, build strength and inevitably age well. Strength for Life sessions are offered in almost 100 locations across South Australia, with new sites opening all the time. Check out the COTA SA website to find your nearest location.
Strength for Life is an individualised program which is delivered in a group setting. We aim to keep older South Australians connected with their community, preventing social isolation and also keeping their bodies strong, flexible, managing falls and keeping them engaged. We're super excited to be partnering with Football SA at this state-of-the-art location. It's a beautiful venue. It will really benefit the local community through the Northfield and Jepps Cross surrounding areas to be able to access Strength for Life. And together we are working to improve everyone's futures.
Welcome all to the Summit Sports and Recreation Centre for the round 2 all to Campbelltown. They lost 2-0 at home to Modbury last weekend, so that put a little stutter in their course for the last couple of games of this season. But a big game like this away from home.
And they'll go up to 6. They'll leapfrog Beargrad and Croydon, who are both at 25 points.
We're underway here. That's Jovanovic and Ayubi leading the line for Adelaide United. Of course, you've got a couple of other ins this week. Johnny Yule tackling with the eye now. And it'll be Stanisic to come away with it. Another poor giveaway that time to Gutierrez. What a great save from Ethan Cox there.
Fantastic save, but what a strike from Gutierrez as well. The ball just broke him. Just
time in that wing, and they're still battling it out. And still stays in as well. Crawford might get a second opportunity. He's gone past him. Finds Jovanovic into the box. Left-footed strike. Luka Jovanovic. 7 goals for the season now. And that's why he's the leading marksman for our Adelaide United.
That was a great strike to the far post, wasn't it? Curled in. We had a great angle of it, didn't we? Curled it into this to that far post and beyond the reach of Oxenham, and that is a hell of a reach that he's got too. So to beat him there, fantastic shot.
They always go short from corners, so now it's Yule, edge of the box. We've seen him crack it from here. Oh. It looks like it might have got a deflection out for another corner, but he was looking for another screamer there, Johnny Yule. Here's Crawford with an excellent ball to Garuccio. He's found his way in behind. A rock's almost there. Oh. Just past the post from Garuccio, though.
Little stab with the left foot. It was a toe poke, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I thought that got away from him there, and obviously he's just had a little bit of extra speed to get on the end of it. And both teams have been playing to the conditions quite well. Now it's Leai, edge of the box. His first strike and goal. Left-footed strike that Cox has claimed, who's near. Goes far post for Dorban now. Great save, though, from Cox. He stayed on side as well. I'm sure the Adelaide United backline were wondering how he got away from them all. And top scorer at this venue for visiting teams. In the NPL at least. But he's obviously scored here on two occasions. And these days, Carucio's now crowded out by Adelaide City numbers. But he's done enough pressure to win it again. It's Luka Jovanovic going one way then the other. Enough time to shoot. He hasn't. And the referee's pointed to the penalty spot.
I don't think that. I'm surprised at that. Look, all respect to the ref. He's made the decision. He's not going to change his mind. But
almost a save there from Dakota Oshanan. But it's found its way into the top left corner. It's 2-0. And that's 2 for Luka.
Yeah, Oxenham a bit upset with himself. He did get a hand to it. Good goalkeeping. And he's a big guy. He'd be hard to beat from anywhere, I think. But Oxenham a bit unlucky. Got a hand to it. Not quite enough to push it out to the side. And
for Adelaide United now. He's got Garucho coming with the overlap. He's going to float it into the near post, far post. It goes to Yaya Dakuli with a tap in on his left foot. And as we just mentioned, Luka Jovanovic loves this venue. No one loves him more than Yaya Dakuli. 3 goals in 3 years, David.
Wow. And what a celebration. Look, I think that might just be it for Adelaide City. I think they've really struggled to try and be clinical up front, and now they find themselves 3-0 down. And
Booker now sets to deliver in a dangerous spot. What a save from Ethan Cox. As well on the broadcast as well, they did mention. Oh, sorry, there's Luka Jovanovic has nipped that one in. Looking to find somebody, or he's going to go for a hat trick. He might. Luka Jovanovic! There it is. 3 for the man, 3 for the number 9, and that's back-to-back hat tricks for Luka Jovanovic.
Fine finish, and Adelaide City backed off again. I mean, this is what they were doing. This is what I was talking about before. They sort of backed off and they let him come through, and I thought he was going to play it across the face of goal, and maybe City did as well. But in the end, he's had a shot that's beaten Oxenham from a fairly tight angle. But yeah, they just backed off and gave him the freedom of.
Barker, it's not too rural compared to a couple of other games that play in rural venues, but it's only about 25-30 minutes from the city, and anything east side as well. So another big game here at Mount Barker. Adelaide United that finished 4-0 win over Adelaide City, with a highlight being, I'm sure you can't take the man of the match away now from Luka Jovanovic.
The Matildas are on fire, and the Socceroos have the breakthrough.
Welcome to Kilburn Sportsplex. For Football SA's broadcast, they're led out by tonight's referee, Mark Padros, and the assistant referees are Noah Dempsey and Mark Dempsey. Both teams are in their just waiting on the whistle, and there it is, and we are away. Early touches for the back line, and maybe get an early shot away, a chance for City. West Adelaide trying to clear. It's come out to Atkins. Just wide. Good start for City. Is this a chance for Burns to get onto the ball? Abby Burns comes into the shot. She can take a shot. Burns, excellent save. It comes to Blackett. It's a goal. It's a goal for Nicole Blackett. And who better to score the opening goal in the WNPL at Kilburn? In the minds of all of West players. But they're under pressure now from Dorber. Dorber might equalise. She's done really, really well. That's a tremendous goal by Chelsea Dorber. Pete is ahead of her. Gray wants to get it into Guajardo. It's a good ball. Pete! It's just wide. McCauley wants to get it up onto the attacking left. And that's where Guajardo is, who's swapped with Seaton. Guajardo! Coming out to Burnett. And Gray tries the shot. No problem there for Leon. Johns is overlapping. Macri decides to go forward and get it to Burnett. Burnett! Good save, Lucas. Good move by West, though. But Noto, her ball's only found Guajardo here. Guajardo will go the shot. Noto, oh, she had to dive in the end. Now Pete and McFarlane are there. Takes on Burnett. It's a good ball through. Dorber goes the shot. Saved by Noto. Here's Hodgson for West. Gets a good cross in. And it might come out to Mitchell. But it's blasted wide. It's back with Hodgson. Mitchell gets it inboard. That's a nice ball. Blackett. Nicole Blackett. Oh, yes! It's a classic Blackett goal, and she gets her second, and West are back in front. Macquarie's onside here. And Mullen is bursting in the middle. It's the first time ball. Mullen! Great move, West. Abby back in board. But, oh, it's come through to Pete. The flag stays down. Nora Pete! Straight to Noto. Johns. That ball. Blackett is there. Nicole Blackett. Is this the hat trick? Blackett! Saved. Costanzo puts it back in board. Away by Gilchrist. But now it's with DeCola, who's onside. DeCola, that's a really good cross. Macquarie. Pitched away by Lucas. But still, the ball's still pinballing in the area. And now it's a shot from Mullen! Mallory Mullen makes it 3-1. DeCola tries to get it inboard. Burnett. That's a good touch. Mullen! Saved. It's going to be another West corner. And City on the march again. There's the ball for Hodgson. Hodgson is onside. Emily Hodgson. Will she go the shot? She squares it. It must be a goal, and it is. And that's another really good ball from Johns to Blackett. Blackett, Macquarie sprinting in, so's Mullen. Still Blackett. Gets the cross. No, she goes for goal and gets her hat-trick. Nicole Blackett makes it 5-1. Guajardo looking for a late consolation. Guajardo goes the shot. It's a great shot. It's a great goal by Valeria Guajardo. Remaining. McCauley with the clearance. And that is the final whistle. A fantastic win for West Adelaide here at Kilburn. A great way to mark this historic occasion for the home side.
As here come our two sides. The bar has been set. It's a great run from Kyra Cooney-Cross.
Turn under pressure.
Here come the Socceroos again. Good one on the right foot, and the Socceroos have the breakthrough. What a goal! The Matildas are running amok. Opens up for the shot.
Sinclair up the double. There's the gunflute. Australia head over heels about this superstar.
almost ready to be back underway here at Steve Woodcock Sports Centre. As we did say, it's 0-0, and the game that both of these teams are eagerly anticipating the result of is 3-0 to Metro Steel. So it looks like we might be in for a bit of a stalemate half, but if they've got some subs and a couple of youngsters who maybe just want to make a name for themselves ahead of the final series, then maybe that's something to look forward to.
Yeah, and there's obviously still that second place, still that week off up for grabs. But no, the football gods are not smiling down upon us today for a crazy title race finish.
Modbury, though, starting with a bit of attack here with MK, but it ends up with nothing doing, and now
It's like no changes on either side.
Just confirming no changes.
Yep.
yeah, looked like a couple of the Modbury players were still out there on the park warming up. That was Mullen and Trimboli. Shot there. But yeah, those two were warming up extensively near the end of that half, so maybe they're going to get some minutes in this game. They're two players that they've done at the moment, so maybe they're going to be introduced for a couple of players maybe who've played a lot of minutes over the last few weeks.
Yeah, we'll probably see Trimboli at some point. But just there a moment ago, Hampshire Cave shooting, having to shoot from about beyond 25 yards because he receives the ball and he's got nothing ahead of him. It's really his best option, either to dribble or to shoot. And that's kind of just been the story of the game for Modbury's attacking players. And I don't think that's really going to change anytime soon unless Campbelltown take the lead.
They've had a good run against Modbury Jets in the last few years as well. From the stats that I saw until 2015 when they played each other for the first time in the top leagues they had here. There's only been one loss for Campbelltown against Modbury in that time, and that came in 2020 when they had that fantastic blistering start to their NPL campaign, Modbury, where they were top after the first 4 rounds before COVID. Don't know what happened in that period, but
Yeah. They started the season brilliantly, and then, if I'm not mistaken, got relegated that
they
same
did. Yeah.
season.
I mean, they were top after the 4. COVID happened, and I don't know how many people moved, or the form dipped, or maybe people were injured as well in that time, and they obviously dipped enough to go all the way out to get relegated. So, other than that, it's been all Campbelltown over the last almost 9 to 10 years. Murray now whips this back post. Mullen does keep it alive into the middle, but Francesca clears that.
Another avenue to goal when you're facing such a low block, which is difficult to break down general play, is set pieces.
Murray controls that while he's on the floor, in between his legs maybe. Now it's Halliday.
Don't they call that some kind of foul violation?
Looks like there is going to be a booking though for Boffa as it comes back, and there's a few of, I wouldn't say they're his fans, but they are definitely his rivals, and the Modbury.
It's pure frustration against Boffa. And I think the longer this goes, the game playing out the way it is, Campbelltown starting to create simple fouls like that. Just needless fouls, no need. Just allowing Modbury that time to regather, regroup.
Wins one back that time off Hamish McCabe, and that obviously also adds to the air of uncertainty of how long he's going to play James Boffa in this game. He started the game a couple of weeks ago, I think, but only came on in the 88th minute in the previous game against Para Hills, so he's coming back from injury as well, but also putting a yellow on his name in the moderate, when we did talk about Baresi possibly coming on, or even Shoga Yoshikawa is a natural midfielder himself, so I'm not sure how long he's got left on the park there, but I'm sure he's going to give it his all.
Yeah, well, you see this attack.
Might even get a shot away if he's lucky. Halliday now though. Brandon's in front, he's going to float that ball in back post. A couple of Campbelltown players got each other's way, and now Modbury can clear it.
No, I think, James Boffa, I was watching a reserve game here, pitch 2 behind us a few weeks ago, which he started in. It was when they played Beergrad. He got through about 50 minutes in that game. So yeah, he's been ramping up. But I think, to your point about changes, whatever change Campbelltown make here, it can't be like for like, in my opinion. It has to be, a striker for a midfielder, a striker for a defender, something which really changes things up and puts the onus back on Modbury to maybe adapt to.
Daniel Mullen now attacking that space. He has a strike ingest, and that's it, the trees behind the goals.
And that's the other thing you might start to see as well. Centre backs start to get a little bit frustrated, a little bit impatient, drive forward, start shooting from 40 yards. Not sure if that's the ideal route to goal.
I was mentioning as well that when they did win in 2020, it was actually here at Steve Woodcock Sports Centre, and it was 2-1 to Modbury Jets, and that seems to be a common theme among the last few games between them. I think it was about 4 2-1s in the last 5 games between the two, so at least there is a consistent amount of goals they've scored in these two fixtures, but haven't seen any just yet. Also in between that time as well, in their 6 home games against Modbury Jets, Campbelltown scored 18 and conceded 1. So they're really good in front of their home fans here, and Modbury Jets probably not as much. The other things well, Campbelltown in there might get a ball in here to Mullen, finds Marino, goes far post to Matsumoto, but found the gap just through, and now Ichikawa can come away with it. Found the option, the only one that was up there with him, and that's Hamish McCabe. He looks for the ball in behind. He might have sprung the onside trap. The linesman's kept his flag down as Campbelltown kept the possession there, but I think it might have been offside.
Maybe he's in line, but that initial attack from Campbelltown was much, much better. I think something that they might start to do is get Alex Mullen to maybe pin one of the centre backs in the penalty area, get the ball into his feet, and play off him from there. You know how strong he is with his hold-up play. So just looking at Triciani, he's directing Brent Centrafani to maybe just push in a little bit higher. Campbelltown, the longer this game goes on, you just need to take more risks. You can't be risk averse if you want to break this system down. I think we've got something downstairs from Shane.
Just on that, boys, he was speaking to Centrafani there, just asking him to try and get the ball in that space. There's a shot there.
Shot. That one was from Jake Halliday, of course. He did score the winner in the first fixture between these two, a 1-0 win for Campbelltown, and he found his name on the score sheet a couple of times in the past, and there have been big results, and he was obviously the one that separated these two in that first fixture. As you were saying, another ball coming in. This time's playing 1-0. Keep going, Shane.
Yeah, no, we're just asking Centrafani to receive the ball in that space. Again, I spoke about it in the first half, at those little pockets of space. Receive the ball, pass, move, open up that space out wide again. So, yeah, there will be some instructions. Funnily enough, we spoke about the benches before. Probably a little bit more action on the Modbury bench than the Campbelltown bench, which is a little bit surprising considering Campbelltown are the ones that need a result.
I think I would say that Modbury probably looking at thinking we might not have the legs and the discipline with the 11 players we've got out there right now to do this the whole game. But if we can change a few spots here and there, gradually, keep things fresh, we'll be able to maintain the defensive output that they've been putting in. Interesting, chance before for Jack Halliday. Good save by Ryan Neal. It's one the kid should be making it really close. But Campbelltown, one thing they have changed, I feel, in the second half is they're trying to get the ball in the box earlier, trying to maybe win a second ball in the box and try and score that way. It's always another simple tactic against a defensive structure like this.
I think it's interesting as well, the man that is warming up on that near touchline is Matthew Mullen, and I thought that their defence was probably the fresher of any of the lines of their team at the moment. I mean, we did say there were 3 centre-backs out at the moment. A couple of full-backs have been playing in different positions, so I mean, they're all the ones that just come in at the moment from Modbury, so if he's the one to...
That's such a good offside for Modbury. Just getting possession straight back to Campbelltown when we had an opportunity to get the ball in the box. But for Matt Mullen, if he was to come on, I mean, you wouldn't think it's just to chuck another centre back on there and just double down on the same approach. I mean, it's very possible that Morris Natali could be thinking of that. But I don't think, maybe they're just staying warm because it is a chilly night, but I'd be surprised if Modbury went to their bench before Campbelltown. Unless there was someone out there who was really struggling physically.
He certainly is going to be the one that comes on, Matt Mullen. He's done sort of the most warming up. He's got the book in hands looking at those formations at the moment, so I'd say he's certainly going to be the first one coming on from Modbury.
Oh, I'll be eating my words then.
But yeah, I'd just be surprised which one of that back three centre-backs it is to come in. I mean, Cameron Tompkins came on as a sub last week and in the Australia Cup. Darcy Shaxley the same, Dr. Wald the same. So, I mean, those three are the freshest, so unless you're playing them out as a fullback, maybe Matt Mullen in the midfield. But
well, there could be that, or, I mean, could Matt Mullen be maybe just as a wing-back and almost as an extra centre-back and not really looking to get forward at all? That sounds insane, but, you know, this is working pretty well for them right now.
It sounds insane, but it also sounds the most likely.
Or maybe they're going to straight swap him for Wall and play him up against Alex Mullen as well, and maybe put some of those playground beefs to bed with strong challenges and not let him get on the ball anymore.
Well, if anyone knows Alex Mullins' aerial ability and little tricks and secrets in the box, it's going to be his brother Matt.
Good touch there from McCabe, found its way to Scamitzi, but he's crowded out by 3 red numbers, and Halliday comes away with it.
Yeah, I think that's why Campbelltown have gone with those 2 6s in front of their 2 centre backs, just to have as much protection as possible in the event that Modbury do break forward. And it's just a simple case of recycling the ball. But the problem with that is on the other end, you maybe lose the ability to take the shackles off a little bit going forward. And I would be very surprised if we don't see a Josh Barresi, an attacking player.
Shogi Ishikawa as well, maybe.
Shogun Ishikawa, of course, is the other one I was thinking of.
They obviously don't have Nick Graves on the bench as well, which is surprising. He's been there most of the season and even got a few starts as well. He's a dangerous winger. And he's
I saw Nick actually walk by us here before. Maybe some sort of injury.
Good spin there from Marino. He's in the box. He is. I thought he might have been nudged to the side as a foul. Looks like it might have been outside the box anyway. And Modbury Jets just clear as a bit of a cold rush just comes up against us here, and the top of the scaffold has probably been down there for most of the game now. So now we're feeling what you felt down there, Shane. But Marisic slips as that one ball goes through, but of course they keep it Campbelltown.
I think as well as things are going for Modbury in the execution of their plan, what you do need to be careful of is dropping too deep. Because you're going to invite shots on goal, you're going to invite crosses into the box, and that causes its own sort of chaos. So you just saw there, and this is where Morris Natale, the one part of the performance he'll be frustrated with is Jockey Wall wins the ball and he's just cleared it into no man's land, and Modbury just there's nothing for McCabe, for Scamitzi to feed off.
Bit of a race on that far side with Choya and Matsumoto, but going to take it over the sideline and reset for them now. There's a goal around the grounds. This is Raiders, who got an equaliser against Adelaide United Youth, so maybe that's going to make some differences in that 6th spot in the finals now. Shane, have you got anything?
It doesn't as yet. United still sitting 6th by a point over the so yeah, it's interesting. This sort of race for the finals. A few other little races going on here other than the one for the premiership tonight. So interesting.
Raiders surely wouldn't be trying to do their big rivals a favour, would they?
It's the last 2 seasons that Beergrad have missed out on finals by 1 or 2 points as well, so they're definitely hoping that this year might be the year. They've had solid performances against them of the top opponents and in their derby, so if there's a year to do it, it would be this one.
I haven't checked it, obviously, at this game, but I'm wondering how strong Adelaide United went as well. You know, are they going all out to secure 6th and give their boys another chance to actually defend their title from last year?
Falling behind that one time it was to Alex Mullen, but his backfield found nobody.
Again, that's the type of thing for Campbelltown which is promising. Modbury are actually getting too deep, in my opinion now. They're really letting these Campbelltown attackers to now start to find easier space in the penalty area, and it just wasn't on the same wavelength there with Alex Mullen and his teammates. But getting Alex Mullen with his bat to goal like that, pinning one of the defenders, and playing off of that is definitely a good strategy for Campbelltown. Modbury have got to get their lines higher.
Just on that comment with Adelaide United boys, certainly not as strong a team as what it was last week. It's sort of back to their, I suppose, their usual NPL squad this season. None of your Austin A's or anyone like that. So certainly a weaker side than last week.
Strange though, because we saw Austin Ayubi, Harry Crawford, Ryan White travel to Sydney, then come back and play on the weekend, but they're not playing this weekend. So
they did play that trial game this week as well.
That's a very good point in a quick turnaround. Yep, that would explain it.
Maury now looks for the bounce. He might get on his left foot, but just escaped him there, and Modbury just get it away from anybody. And they will retain that ball, Campbelltown. But I'm not sure how many of the other players from Adelaide United youth team did play in that game. I know Austin Ayubi did, Taladera did, but I'm not quite sure how many minutes players like White.
I think Austin Ayubi scored.
Scored 4.
Scored 4. It's a fantastic pre-season.
So yeah, but I'm not sure how much the other players who've just obviously broken into that A-League or that Australia Cup squad as well right now, how many minutes they played, but otherwise I'd say Austin is probably the main out for Adelaide United tonight then.
Hot off the press, they've just announced a new 5-year extension for Ethan Alikic as well. Extensions for Faisal Kasimovic, Manuel Nicola and Martin Tatu in recent days too, so a lot happening there. A lot of boys that we see in the NPL.
Daniel Mullen plays it back to Boffa. His strike finds the knee of... Like the defensive Modbury have just about cleared that one. That was probably the best chance of the whole game we've seen here in 60 minutes or so.
Yeah, and this is the critical period here for Modbury because Campbelltown are tightening the screw, and I've been harping on about it, but Modbury are getting deeper and deeper and deeper, and with the aerial threat, shot wide deflection, the aerial threat of Mullen, the sharpness in the box of Mark Marino, Josh Murray. Ball can bobble, 1-2, anything can happen, and it could be a simple finish. And set pieces accumulating as well is not a good sign either. It's like we'll go down to Shane Modbury making a change.
Yes, we've got one from each here. Looks like it's happening. With Matt Mullen coming on from Modbury, and Michael Matriciani very quickly sent his assistant down to get to Shogo Yoshikawa, who's going to get ready very quickly. So a couple of changes down here coming up very shortly.
Matsumoto puts it into a dangerous area, and I think it's again that might go pushing the back there, Alex Mullen, but it is maybe a like-for-like substitution. Both teams obviously trying to counter each other's tactical substitutions, but I'd like to see where both these come on. I would expect Yoshikawa to come on for Boffa, but Matthew Mullen on.
I think that has to be the change, Alessio. They need to shake up. It can't be like-for-like. I think they'll just be counterintuitive. I think for Modbury, if it's like-for-like, that would not be surprising.
Marino gets a spin in the box, but there's just so many numbers there from Modbury. He gets fouled after the ball. He's pretty angry with that, but that's nothing doing. And now McCabe is tried to go by himself. He complains about a foul as well, but I think that was all ball there from Marisic.
I think that one was ball on McCabe. I think there might have been a slight nick there from Mark Marino.
There's one off the ball there as well for Alex Mullen as he made the run there. And again, the referee's not seen that one. Assistant referee's not giving him any help either. So seen a bit of spice in this game now. A couple of late challenges, but none heeded. And now they're going forward. It's just over the top for Scamizzi. Now we're going to see these two subs.
Just why those subs happen as well. I'm not sure whether you guys caught it, but along with Mark Marino, I'm not sure what happened afterwards, but he went running after Darcy Shucks, and there's a little bit of shoulders, a little bit of handbag straight after, and then obviously the other collision on the other side very quickly. So
yes, well, Mark Marino is well known for being quite a calm individual when he doesn't calls going his way.
So this young Tompkins to come on. He came on in extra time in the Australia Cup, and he also came on to score a goal against Croatia Raiders in the week. So the other one is Matsumoto to come off for Yoshikawa. So maybe he's going to play on the wing like you did mention at the start of this broadcast. And he's definitely one that is fantastic in the 1v1 battle, but he's like for like. As you said, you didn't think it was going to happen.
Yeah, I'm perplexed. I don't really understand how a like-for-like change is going to change. I mean, Campbelltown have been better in the second half. That is true. They are getting more entries in the penalty area. They've had more half chances, so to speak. But I just think take the shackles off, I guess, is kind of how I'm looking at things.
Yeah, he's not too happy either, Yoey Matsumoto. He's sort of fairly angrily muttering something under his breath as he walked past me. He's headed straight down and back towards the change room, so he's certainly not happy at being taken off.
Incisive pass almost found its way to Boffa. Maybe he's doing his attacking runs as more attacking players get onto the park as well. He has been on top of the box for a fair while, and now we're going to look like seeing another sub. Josh Perezzi's just taken his jacket off to come on, and this is definitely not a like-for-like one.
Well, this could be like-for-like, or maybe this is the change that's maybe on for a midfielder. Let's see.
Good feet there from Boffa, I think it was, but getting right in the attacking areas though, James Boffa. He did say he was going to sit there in the 6, but...
Well, that's another change that they could make with the players they've got out there, is have Brandon Fantafanthu alone in the 6, just in front of the centre-backs, and maybe release Boffa to further forward, as Francesca thought, why not? He took him off his lines. Trying to think him.
He's got to be one of the most bored players out there at the moment. Is Alexander Woodland's going to try and keep himself warm now with the temperatures dropping here. Ryan Neal's obviously got a defence to marshal ahead of him. Good flick in behind that time from Marlon. It's Marino! And he's blazed his lines over the bar.
And it's that. Instead of go down to a change for Campbelltown first.
Yeah, I think it'll be Boffa coming off from what I overheard here for Brazy.
Might be surprised himself that he's going to come off Boffa. He was pointing at himself and looks like his head's not too happy with getting subbed off. He was getting quite attacking in there for the last 5 minutes of that, and maybe would have thought that he was doing some of the difference making.
Yeah, I think James Boffa. I think it's a good change. So I think it makes sense now. I think maybe the Yohei change was more of a performance thing, and this one is now a formational switch to change things up and go with essentially what might look like a front 5 in this final. You know, what will be probably half an hour when you count for stoppage time. But that last attack there is exactly what I'm talking about. Their use of Alex Mullen in the second half, pinning him against the centre back, getting the ball into his feet, and then have runners coming off it, and that was perfectly executed. Mark Marino will be really disappointed in himself that he couldn't finish that one.
Looks like we're going to have 2 players to pin the ball into their feet now. Berezzi's joined Alex Mullen at the top there, and Mark Marino has found himself in the midfield now. So he's going to want to get on the ball a bit more. He's probably one of those players who will.
And I think the idea here will be use the target play, use the hold-up play of Mullen and Berezzi, and then have Marino, Nishikawa, and Mori making those runs off of them when the ball goes into their feet. It's quite a traditional approach, but when you look at how deep Modbury are playing right now, it's something that can be very effective, and it actually has been in the moments that they've been able to do that so far.
Righto now on the near side. Down to the gap there to Josh Murray, who floats the ball into an interesting area. Mullen plays it back to Marino. What a good strike and what a good save from Ryan Neal. It was a fantastic one as the ball goes back close to Berezzi. He flicks into the back corner, and that's the goal we're waiting for, Christian. Joshua Berezzi just come on and into the goals. What he's done all season.
Well, it's his first touch. It's his first touch, isn't it? Josh Berezzi. And that was excellent from Campbelltown. It has to be incisive. We've talked about it. The passing has to be incisive. They've got to find the pockets, and they've done that brilliantly there. Mullen initially, great ball out wide, opens everything up. Josh Murray, excellent ball across. Layoff. Marino, what a strike that was. The power behind that. And Neal, he actually parries it well away from his goal. It's recycled. It's a great cross. Stands it up. And for Josh Berezzi, that's perfect service.
Bread and butter. That's what he does.
Bread and butter. That's what he does.
And I mean, they were the 2 subs he made. I think it might have been Yokokawa to put that ball in at the end there. I got to look back on replay, but glancing headed to the far post. Now we might see things open up. I mean, the crowd here,
now Modbury have to come out of their shell, and the header as well, we should just say, perfectly guided. Ryan Neal just rooted to his spot. Brilliant stuff. And you saw the celebration right in front of Shane of the Campbelltown bench. That's all that frustration just coming out. because of the low block you had to face, and also when you are the attacking team forcing the issue in this situation. Now Campbelltown, they don't have to force the issue now, and more than likely what's going to happen is Modbury are going to start to press, and there's going to be more space that's going to be left in behind for Campbelltown to exploit. So now the onus is on Modbury. Let's see how they respond.
It's a poor pass from Woodlands though. It's found its way to Ichikawa. Goes 1v1 against Centofanti. Plays to the top of the box. Francesca's there. He looks for a shot. Francesca! Just past the post, and it was almost an instant reply. Jesse Francesca, that's his range. Outside the box, we've seen him do it at Smith Partner Stadium, and almost saw it again here.
Well, it's that game against, flashbacks to that game against Metro at Smith Partner Stadium earlier this season where he scored that absolute belter. But it's a double-edged sword in a situation like this where Campbelltown have just taken the lead, and psychologically you can start to feel like, well, Modbury are going to start to press, they're going to come out of their shell. We should go and win this game 2 or 3-0 now. And you actually make those mistakes like Alex Woodlands has just made in possession. And before you know it, Modbury are back in the game. But here we go.
Good ball to Halliday on the far left. He dinks one in far post again. This time it's Marino. That's it! And it goes in! Mark Marino with a goal. And it's 2-0 out of Campbelltown. And their patience has paid off, Christian.
Well, I've just said Campbelltown need to be careful about getting complacent 1-0 up. And they've just gone and scored a second. And it's literally just what I've described, Alessio. Modbury have pushed their lines high, they've gone to press, and again, it's a similar move. Down the left-hand side, Jake Halliday's got the space ahead of him, and it's an absolutely brilliant cross again. Their delivery in the second half has been much, much better, Campbelltown. Stood up to the back post. Mark Marino's left unmarked, I'm not too sure why. And it's a fantastic finish on the half volley, right into Ryan Neal's bottom right, top right corner, should I say. And this game might be as good as over. I don't want to call things too early, but if Modbury can't respond in the next 10 minutes, I'd see it more than likely that Campbelltown is going to get a third.
Yeah, we were also talking about Luca Kimboli warming up now. Most of the Modbury bench has all gone to warm up now, so we might see a different approach from them, but the patience has finally paid off for Campbelltown. I mean, they got down this left side, they had a 3v2 almost. Murray played the perfect pass to Halliday. He's the adventurous fullback in this team. And it's just another bread and butter cross for him as well. So Campbelltown now finally getting to their groove, and this crowd has some life breathed into it at the moment.
Yeah, and you know, we spoke about how Campbelltown didn't move the ball quick enough. We saw Michael Matriciano's frustration with that in the first half. But at the end of the day, sometimes you do have to be patient. And you look at the 72 minutes you played now, and Campbelltown had that first half to kind of settle into it and see what Modbury were going to do, and then the second half they've adjusted and they've done brilliantly. We've got a change, Shane, I think, for Modbury.
Yeah, we've got Dion Kirk coming on for Darcy. Just as you mentioned that, I mentioned it 20 or 25 minutes into this match about Modbury sitting back, and you know it's a nice idea to try and hold on to that second spot, but can they do it for the 90 minutes? And you know, you see after a couple of losses. You know, the minds might be down a little bit. A massive week in the Australia Cup going to penalties. You know, we said, can they hold it out for 90 minutes? The answer was no. Now they find themselves 2 goals down, 70 minutes in, and having to find 2 goals in the last 20. It's a really tough, unfortunate situation for Modbury to be in, considering the position they were in 3 weeks ago.
William McCabe now plays this on to Ichikawa on the left side. He's finding another player on the top of the box, but his pass was short. I think we're going to have to look out as well some of this formation change now from Modbury. I did see a couple of players moving in.
I'm just going to touch on that now. They've gone to a back 4 with Dion Kirk coming on. So it looks like maybe a 4-4-2 with McCabe, Hamish McCabe, and Mitzi playing as 2 number 9s.
Good ball that time from Marino to centre front. He floats a back post. I think he might have touched the crossbar. He's going to stay in though. Murray's going to chase him down now, and he gets in front of him fantastically. Keeps this move alive for Campbelltown now.
But yeah, Matt Mullen, Joku Wall, 2 centre backs now, and Dion Kirk alongside Jesse Francesca.
But I mean, I saw it just after the second goal as well. I think Shaxi was looking to maybe step into the midfield. That's what he's looking at over the coaches for him. Maybe they've told him, no, you're going to come off. Actually, we're going to put someone else into that midfield. So maybe he's a bit disappointed that he's had to play out an hour or so at centre back.
Maybe they wanted someone a bit more mobile in that area, particularly now that you're chasing the game.
Of course, a former Campbelltown player as well, Dion Kirk. He had a quite successful period here as well, winning everything there is to win.
And I think Shane mentioned how difficult it is psychologically to defend for that long, but also the psychological adjustment of, as probably might have chances.
Committee is taking that off the heels of Halliday, but now the defensive interceptions, trying to stay down here, limping after that one, but Campbelltown are getting into another attack, and Yoshikawa, he's not missed a beat as he keeps his feet and wins the free kick.
Yeah, the psychological impact of defending, and thinking maybe you'll be able to defend for 80 minutes and then conceding twice in a matter of moments, and now having to completely flip from protecting the game to chasing the game. And that's one of the that's the risk that you take when you take this approach that Modbury have taken today.
Of course, that is Mark Marino's 19th goal of the season, 14 in the league, And looking for more now, Campbelltown. Josh Murray faces defender 1v1. This is the position he likes. Josh Murray! It's 3-0 to Campbelltown. And what a strike from Josh Murray in the final game of the season. And now it's 3-0. This might be an unassailable lead, Christian.
Well, he's done it again against the Modbury Jets. We said earlier in the first half that if you scored, they're going to be sitting beside of him, and that was an absolute thumping finish by Josh Murray. Campbelltown exploiting the space that Modbury are leaving behind now that they're chasing the game, and Modbury trying to adapt with a 4 at the back formation, leaving a bit more space now in the wide areas. Campbelltown switch it over to the left. It's a great ball. Murray, brilliant first touch. Knew exactly what he was going to do. Bring it inside, and that is an absolutely thumping finish into the roof. No chance of Ryan.
I mean, I knew it was going to happen when I saw that come to the 1v1. I'm like, this is his bread and butter. This is his area that he likes to be in. And it looks like the whole centre of the park was spreading apart for him. Cuts inside, defender off his toes, and straight into the corner. And that's now 12 goals for the season, 7 in the league, and of course 3 goals in 3 games against Modbury. Obviously 2 in the cup final. 1 here and 1 in the first game. And now to the foot chip there from Berezi. He's looking for another one, and finally this game sparked into life, and now front 4 of Campbelltown, they all want to go.
Well, now it's like an all-you-can-eat buffet for these Campbelltown forwards. But for Modbury as well, defensively on that goal, you know Josh Morris is going to come in on his right. He's not a naturally left-footed player, he's a naturally right-footed player. He's playing on the left, he's going to come inside, and that would be frustrating for Morris Natale. It's such a simple, that's the scaffold that we're standing in, but it is such a simple thing for Modbury defensively to be aware of, and yet they've allowed him to do it anyway, and now this game is as good as over, as I think we've got a score update at Adelaide City Park.
Yeah, we do. Adelaide City have gone 1-0 up over Adelaide Olympic, so as it stands, it looks as though Adelaide Olympic will go down into State League 1, which is an absolute disaster for that club.
We're going to see a couple more subs here. Looks like it's going to be a triple one as well. The referee wasn't even sure who was coming off. They were just walking off and a couple more walking on, so he's going to make sure he's got the right numbers. And Wentz is that Hamish McCabe to come off, Francesco Scamizzi to come off, and Makeda to come off. That might be finally resting some players now.
Yeah, and that's very much some changes where Morris Natale is pretty much waving the white flag and seeing if he can get some minutes into some of his subs ahead of the finals. Looks like, so we've got Luca Trimboli,
Marco Tatani and the young Anthony Lanzotti in the number 17 shirt. Haven't seen much from or any of him, I don't think, this season. He might have been on the bench a couple of times, but it's the first time I've seen him feature.
Don't quote me on this. I'm not sure if Marco Tatani played juniors here at Campbelltown.
Definitely got a name that sounds like there were a few Tatanis here, I'm sure, in the past. But
So, sound familiar. But yeah, for Modbury now, it's about seeing this out, putting a tough week to bed.
Yeah, it's probably not the form you want to come into in the final series, but they made it work last year, and now Detroit goes far post for that man. Tatani is battling out with Halliday, but he shoots it over the line. I mean, I can't remember exactly their form coming into the finals last year, but I wouldn't have said it was as flash as some of the other teams, and they made it work all the way to the grand final. So,
yeah, and they did, but they also didn't have those Australia Cup commitments. And we saw with Metro in particular last year in the finals how deep they went into the Australia Cup, and then how much that affected them in the finals. against Modbury, in particular in the semi-final. So it really is such an underrated aspect because NPL players just aren't used to that load.
Murray might try to keep this alive, but it looks like he just about did it. And Alex Mullins in the wars now. He put his body on the line to keep that alive and found his way onto his front. And Modbury got the throw in. They're going to make some more subs down there as well on the Campbelltown side. A couple of youngsters suiting up now.
Yeah, both teams do the same thing. Some young boys out there see out the game.
Yeah, I was about to say, you mentioned before about Modbury getting some legs into the subs and sort of just seeing this out. I think you're right, the right flag's being waved, but I think it's more so probably about resting the legs of the players that had a really tough week, because as it stands, they're going to play Adelaide United in the first week of the finals, and we really don't know what sort of team Adelaide United can put out. They may put out an NPL team which they've done okay against this year. They may put out a team stacked full of A-League players, which isn't going to get any easier for this team that's very leggy as it is. So, it might be a little bit of getting some legs into the subs, but I think it's certainly getting some legs sort of resting before next week as well.
It's going to be their goal scorers to come off at the moment as well. It's going to be Josh Murray and Mark Marino to depart, and Mario Oraco and Anthony Piscineri to come on. So it's been a good display out there from two of the front three at the moment. They're going to be happy coming into some form coming into the final series, and both of them as well relieving a bit of pressure on Matriciani in the second half and getting some early goals in quick succession.
Well, you see the real change in demeanour from Michael Matriciani as he very happily greeted his players that just came off there, Marino and Murray. Whatever was spoken about at half-time, they've executed it really well in the second half, and you've got to give them a lot of credit. In saying that, I do think that Modbury have wilted mentally and probably physically, given the week that they've had, and probably a few weeks that they've had. And just dropped deeper and deeper and deeper. And it was only a matter of time before Campbelltown were going to create chances of note. And with the players that they've got, Alessio, they're going to take.
Interesting as well as some of these new players can do. Might be Mario Oraco get on the end of this one against Lanzotti. A couple of youngsters as well going at it. So got a bit to show ahead of themselves and try and get some more appearances coming into the final series. That's a good ball though for Halliday. Stayed on side, kept it alive as well. He's gone again for the 1-2 with Centofanti, and he does well again to put his body in front, but someone must have been offside in that move.
I think it was Halliday when they went for the 1-2.
Although Modbury might be 3-0 down today, there's certainly still a good feeling there.
Yeah, I think that happens when you've got particularly reserves players out there who are trying to stake a claim for more minutes. For them, this is like their cup final. This 15, 20 minutes. They're showing everything that they can to put themselves in a position to get more minutes with a chance.
Liam McCabe inside the box, plays to Luca Trimbola. He might have a shot on goal, but it's an excellent save from Alexander Woodlands. Wanting to keep that clean sheet intact, and he's done expertly well to do that at the moment.
Great save by Alex Woodlands, and not easy as a goalkeeper when you've really done nothing for the entire game, and then you have to spring into life immediately like that. I think Luca Trimbola will be a little bit disappointed. He was at point-blank range.
Good flick on there from Oraco, and a drag back clearly there from Matt Mullen, but Baresi goes for the spectacular, and I think it was always drifting away, unfortunately.
Such a nice left foot, doesn't he? Josh Baresi. It's definitely pulled initially and tried a cheeky chip.
Going to have to check as well how many goals, if any, that Nagamatsu got in that game, but now it does mean Scamitzi is on 14 league goals. Marino's on 14 as well. Not quite sure in that Metro game who scored their goals, but I think from memory Nagamatsu is on 15.
16, yeah. And yes, that's right. He was on 16 last week, and he had a chance to go to 17. It's the penalty.
No running goals today for Metro.
Was it Cam Woodfin? Yeah, Cam Woodfin scored twice. There you go. Have you got the third goal scorer, Shane, in that game?
Yeah, Fabian Barbiero.
So it looks like Marino has not got any more case to get another golden boot here, but
Mr. Metro Stars making sure that the premiership crown goes back to Clemson.
Just a score update as well here, boys. 88 minutes in down at Croatian Sports, and Adelaide United have gone back ahead 2-1, so that locks in that sixth spot for them as we stand.
it's obviously quite disappointing there for Beergrad.
And Croydon, who still could have made it with
A lot of results going on.
yeah, his results going their way. Any update, Shane, actually down at South Adelaide?
Still 3-2 Para Hills up.
Mullen gives that one away. And they're just about clear at Campbelltown, but he's still down there on the far side, Alex Mullen as well. He's put himself about tonight. And
It's just incredible intrigue. Para Hills, only one goal in it. Olympic could equalise at any moment.
now Kurt goes from range, and again, it's into the hands of Woodlands. But I think that's probably been the highlight of the night, is that South Adelaide versus Para Hills game. I mean, going from clear winners to come back into the game really quickly, and looks like it was one Mullen to go down, and sent to Funty, who's also Connor gone down now as well.
Yep, looks like Connor sent to Funty. I think that'll be on the checklist of both coaches heading into this final 5 or so minutes. No injuries.
Yeah, I'd say you're right. Certainly not what either team wants, especially in Modbury again. We've mentioned it numerous times tonight about the schedule that they certainly have many injuries. Unfortunately for people who may be watching this game, that may be fans of Adelaide Olympic, that was gone down to, it looks like, really unfortunate for them. Unless something changes there drastically in a very short amount of time, they will be pretty stable actually.
Yep. And I think there was a hope there with Adelaide Olympic, their form in recent weeks, that they could have manufactured a result. But I think being there and watching Adelaide City dismantle Metro last week, that's a team that is on a mission getting into the finals. Definitely, I reckon, dark horse.
Another good ball over the top for Baresi. That time it's gone a bit behind him, but I think it's probably a redemption season as well for Metro Stars. I mean, they did win that league and the cup last year, but in the biggest stage they fell to this Modbury Jets team and then couldn't have another opportunity in the remaining time. But
yeah, and that's what Metro can go into this final series a lot fresher, with a different mindset, not juggling multiple competitions. So it'll be very interesting to see how they approach their finals games compared to last year.
Points there from Brandon Smith-Funty on a late challenge. Alex Mullen is heating him as well and giving the ref a bit more to talk about, but I think Alex Mullen is definitely a tied figure out there. A couple of touches, a bit loose now, and I'm not sure if they've got any more on the bench to bring on, but you might just have to wait this one out, and he's only got a couple of minutes left as well, so maybe you can just sit in an area and play it on to people playing forward, and some of these youngsters who come on as well.
Maybe Michael Triciani can work on his defending with 10 men in case they need it in the future. And so Alex Mullen just come off for the last few minutes.
Where he's using his body well there. He's got two defenders, and now he's found Halliday. Good inside ball to Orako. He might spin and shoot, but he's gone outside to Yoshikawa. He's found Anthony Piscineri, sorry. He's still battling it out. And he can find the pass back to Alex Mullen.
Yeah, good work by Orako. Bring the ball inside. And a nice ball. Might work out for Campbelltown. You see some of their subs come on and still try and look to make an impact and leave their mark on the game, leave a mark on Michael Triciani and his team selection. I think for Campbelltown subs it's going to be a little bit harder, I think, to break into a pretty settled 11 across the board. But for Modbury, it's different. They've got a lot of injuries and there are spots up for grabs for sure.
A couple of wounded figures out there. Sinfanti Connor is limping out there as well, as is Alex Mullen on some of these as well. So really going to just want to hear his final whistle at the moment is Campbelltown. And maybe Modbury Jets are going to make them work for it in the last couple.
So, entering Campbelltown, it looks like. Top two, same as last year, Alessio.
Yep, and it's an unfortunate season for Campbelltown. I mean, we did say they found their way back into this title race in the last couple of weeks, but ultimately there was probably a couple of fixtures there where they maybe got draws or themselves had to deal with some cup fixtures as well in that period as well. All over the top.
Yeah, I mean, look, they've done their job tonight. They've done their job tonight. This is what they set out to do. They've done it very well in the second half. And at the end of the day, you know, they were dragged back into the race in this final round, but it was still Metro's to lose. And you've got to give credit to Metro for bouncing back from last week's real humiliation against Adelaide City and doing it in such style against Comets. It's a good statement from them to kind of just remind everyone that 4-0 loss from last week against Adelaide City doesn't define them.
Yeah, just a blip in the road for them as they look to go into the final series with some good form and put themselves on the radar as well. That even they're not the same as last year where they might have had commitments that made them play a bit differently, but this year they're going to come into the final series with some form and a big win there away from home actually. So they get to choose if they want the home semi-final first or second. But it'll be interesting to see what they do.
So, yeah, in the NPL, they're allowed to choose. Whereas, obviously, in the A-League, for example, it's away first, and then the high-ranked team is away first, and then they play the second leg at home, regardless.
I actually don't mind that, to be honest. I don't know if I'd prefer it, but you know what I mean? You'd almost rather go into a second leg if you've played at home, you know, you expect to win at home. I almost don't mind or almost prefer sort of having that lead going into the second leg rather than having to chase away from home.
I think one of the arguments for playing a home leg first is that essentially can you win the home leg comfortably and put yourself, you know, with 1 foot into the final. Going into the away leg, and then the away leg you're maybe just defending and playing on the counter-attack, only looking to score 1 more. Whereas, of course, on the flip side, playing home second is if it is a tight first leg, you're playing in front of your home fans second.
Obviously, in the fixture that Modbury played last year, they made it tight in the first leg at home. They probably could have come away with all 3 points if a few more minutes was wasted a bit better, but they obviously lost that in the last couple to a Fortunato brace, and then in the second leg, they just turned up to Metro Stars and came away with everything with a 3-0 win, clear from them. So it can go either way. You might think you'll get an easy or play a bit better at home, but sometimes it goes the other way, and you might have an unreal performance away from home.
Yeah, Campbelltown from memory last year, they went to Service FM, Adelaide United in the first leg, and had a narrow loss, and then probably felt coming at home in the second leg, you know, we can it's only 1 goal. It's not it's far from over, but that also backfired. So I think those two teams, it spoke more to their Australia Cup games.
But that's it. That's full time here. Final league fixture of the season at Steve Woodcock Sports Centre. It's finished 3-0 to the home side. They've had something to celebrate, these Red Devils fans, and a couple of goals as well to tickle their fancy. But that's it here. Goals from started underway with the sub Josh Baresi, then it was Marino, then it was Murray. So all those three have got some great form coming into the final series, and it's been a great game in the end here. We might get some comments here from the coach of Campbelltown after he gets a couple of handshakes. But anything from you, Christian?
Yeah, I think the first 50 or so minutes of this game were not the most watchable, and I think whatever Michael Petrucciani said to his team at half-time, whatever they went over tactically, it clearly worked in the second half. They were able to put more pressure on that Modbury back line, that really rigid back five that Modbury were playing, push them deeper, and then they scored 3 really excellent goals.
We'll hear some of those words now from Michael Petrucciani. He's down there with Shane. What have you got for us, Shane?
Yeah, thanks, boys. Look, Michael, did you expect Modbury to come out how they did? We sort of spoke pre-game, we weren't really sure what they were going to do. Did you expect them to come out and sit sort of so defensive and really make you guys work hard?
Look, no, but I saw from their warm-up that they were changing to a back five. I didn't think they would sit that much, but look, the tactics sort of worked for them for the first 60, 70 minutes until we actually broke them down, and the message from our side was just to be patient, keep moving the ball. Obviously, they played 3 days ago on Tuesday, so that would have taken a lot out of them, but we'll just focus on us, and happy that we broke them down and then got those extra goals just to conceal it.
Again, I heard you mentioning to the boys in the first half you really wanted them to get wider and sort of exploit that the width of this pitch. What did you say to the boys at half-time? You sort of came out with a little bit more intent, I think, in that second half than probably what you started with, or what did you say to the boys at half-time?
Look, not many teams in the league play with the back five, so our movement patterns in wide areas are normally based on back four, and when you play back four to a back five, it's slightly different where the spaces are and how we create them. So the messages were just the little adaptations that we needed to more overlap instead of underlap like we do to a back four. So I think that seemed to work, and obviously we created a number of chances in the first half anyway, but it was just a matter of time really, and staying patient and being in control for the transition, because they're dangerous on that, and I thought we did that extremely well. So I'm super proud of players like Boff and Brandon in the middle of the park. They broke up a lot of play, and our defensive play was excellent tonight, so I was very happy.
Obviously a week off now, have a big match-up with Metro Stars in the semi-finals after they won tonight. Was the week off important for you guys? Obviously it would have been important for Modbury with a heavy schedule, but how important was sort of getting that week off for you?
I don't think the week off is that important. We've got a couple of sore bodies, one that we didn't play tonight, Joel Allwright, which he'll be very happy about it. But look, we're just happy to be in the semi. We're finishing off the season really strong, and we look forward to the finals campaign and try and win it.
Excellent. Anything from you boys?
It's going to be an interesting selection as well for next week. Shogo coming back from his injury, he might create some havoc in there as well. And Boff obviously coming back into that midfield, you reckon? Maybe even with Centofanti, did he get an injury at the end there? Do you know? Or
the boys just asking, did Centofanti get an injury towards the end? Obviously, you've got Shogo looking good tonight. Bit of a tough selection now going into the semi-final.
Yeah, definitely. Centofanti, no, just a little bit of cramp. Shogo's been out for about 8 weeks, so this is the first time we've given him any minutes, so which is great. So he'll have another 2 weeks on the track to build up his fitness base, and he'll be a really good option for us off the bench. Obviously, Boff has been out for a long time as well. This is one of the first games he's back as well. So look, everyone's fit, everyone's raring to go. We're in a good space. A lot of headaches to select the starting lineup, but as we saw tonight, someone like Josh Baresi coming on and scoring us the most important goal to break the seal was super rewarding for him personally and for the team. So really happy with the whole squad in general.
Awesome, well, mate. Congratulations, well done. Good luck. Massive final series to come. Well done.
Yeah, that's all we got down there from Michael as he jogs back to that team. He's going to be proud of his team tonight, Christian. I mean, they had to deal with a tough team to break down. We've seen it so many times where in other games where maybe teams lose a bit of lapse and concede a goal. They had some chances against them as well in that first half as well that could have changed the result on how this game went. But he obviously just stuck to his guns and knew that his players would get him through it.
Well, I think he provided a really interesting tactical insight into the way Campbelltown approached the game and actually being caught off guard by Modbury's system. I spoke, being at the Metro Adelaide City game last week, about how Adelaide City rocked up with a back five and how surprising that was. And clearly Campbelltown were a little bit surprised by that too in that first half, because Michael's right. Not a lot of teams do play with that back five, and they adapted to it. It took them some time, but at the end of the day, if you do game plan for a back four, Modbury turn up with a back five, it is going to take you some time to adjust in the game, and they did really well. I think he's really delighted because to adapting game like that is not easy against such a rigid opponent, but not just that, but to score the goals that they did, really, really good goals too. He'd be over the moon. You could definitely feel that sense of delight in his answers there as well.
Well, anything from you, Shane, before we head off?
Yeah, I was just going to say, obviously the matchups for next week, looking at it now, a couple of big matches. You're going to have grand final rematch of last season in the first week of the finals. It'll be Modbury at home to Adelaide United, then a massive game out at Adelaide City Park, Adelaide City versus Comets. So some big games there. B grade Croydon still going. It's been 0-0 all game. 89th and then 90th minute. They both scored, and it's 1-1 still going there. So obviously with the Adelaide United result, that's sort of irrelevant now anyway. But look, a really enjoyable, or it ended up being enjoyable, sort of last match of of the NPL for the minor round this season. A little bit slow to start, but just I wanted to touch on what you said there about the back five. You're right, and Michael Petrociani said it in his answer there. You don't find too many teams at local level that play with five at the back, so the fact that his team was able to really adjust during the game, it took him a little bit to break them down, which you sort of expect. But, you know, the fact that his team were able to come out and do that, you know, they're showing great things heading into finals and, you know, up there along with Metro Stars. I think they're going to be the favourites for the title now. Yeah, well, we just did see a little flurry in late goals there again, that Beergrad and Croydon, both of them getting on the score sheet, made it 1-1, but that's obviously not enough for either of them. But in the other one, obviously we did confirm the relegation is Adelaide Olympic. Para Hills do stay up for another year, and Olympic go down after quite a few years in the NPL. I mean, they had a good cup run as well. So we'll let you guys go here. It's been a good to be in the studio with you guys. I mean, we had Shane down there on the touchline. Good to hear your insight as well. Christian, as good as always. And yeah, that's enough for us. That's good night at Steve Woodcock Sports Centre. Cheers for having us.